Look at this chair. It's an Eames lounge chair, and it costs around $5,000. When someone pulls out their credit card to buy something like this, how do they actually arrive at that decision? We often assume buyers act like Spock from Star Trek. We imagine them pulling up a mental spreadsheet, weighing pros against cons, and calculating budget constraints to reach a logical conclusion. But the person staring at that checkout button is wrestling with a chaotic internal environment. One part of their brain is calculating how their peers will react to the new furniture, while another part is quietly panicking about paying for rent and food. Cognitive neuropsychologist John Whalen spent years mapping this internal tug-of-war. In his book, Design for How People Think, he provides a framework for decoding these messy internal realities. Whalen breaks Eames' your experience down into 6 distinct cognitive processes, everything from where a user focuses their attention and how they navigate a space, to how they process language and recall memories. The final piece of this puzzle is emotion. It is the most powerful driver of human behavior, yet it is frequently the most misunderstood element in product design. The screen is merely a delivery mechanism. The actual experience is the chemical and cognitive reaction taking place within the user. There are 2 distinct layers to this emotional mind. The first is surface-level emotion, those immediate, reactive feelings a person experiences the second they encounter a cluttered or confusing interface. Imagine standing in a sleek car dealership, trying to negotiate a fair price while holding a crying, fidgeting child. In that moment, you physically do not have the mental bandwidth to run a complex analytical process. Behavioral psychologists call this state cognitive overload. When the brain gets overwhelmed, it abandons logic and defaults to a process called satisficing. You stop looking for the best solution and simply pick the easiest, lowest friction option to relieve the stress. This same response happens online. If a website asks a user to navigate a dense maze of menus, their mental stress spikes. They will instantly abandon that site and retreat to a familiar competitor to simplify their lives. Design fails when it assumes the user is always operating in a calm, stress-free environment with unlimited patience. Beneath those immediate frustrations lies a second, much heavier layer of emotion. This is the subconscious realm of a person's core identity, their unspoken aspirations, and their life goals. If we go back to that $5,000 Eames chair, we can see these deep emotional currents dictate the purchase. In research, one participant explicitly wanted this chair to signal his position as a senior vice president. Right alongside that desire sits a paralyzing fear. Another buyer worried their massive investment would be ruined before it even arrived. These profound human fears and desires are entirely invisible if a company only tracks standard usability metrics like clicks or time on page. A perfectly functioning user interface cannot save a product if the experience triggers the user's deep-seated anxieties. Designing exclusively for the logical brain guarantees failure when a product hits the real world. The most successful designers operate more like behavioral psychologists. They observe users in context to identify the specific insecurities and motivations that people are often too afraid to say out loud. This requires a shift in priorities. You stop building interfaces to help a user complete a mechanical task, and you start building to support the person they are trying to become. That means creating features that exist purely to soothe unspoken fears, offering clear guarantees and safety nets that prove the customer's investment is safe. Success lies in looking past the task to see the human performing it, someone trying to manage their day, impress their peers, and navigate their own anxieties.